So 2024 is going to be a very important year for cicadas. Let me tell you about that. Most of the commonly seen cicadas are what are called annual cicadas. So they have a yearly cycle where they follow the same life cycle every single year. Annual cicadas have a life cycle that repeats the same every single year. They emerge from the ground as adults, they have their cicada sex party, lay their eggs, and then die. This happens, they do the same thing every year, it is a yearly cycle. Now, there are some species of cicadas that do the same cycle, but not yearly. This is the 17-year cicada, and as you may have guessed by the name, this cicada follows the same life cycle, but instead of emerging every year like annual cicadas, they emerge once every 17 or so years. Sometimes it's a few more, sometimes it's a few less, depending on environmental conditions, but largely it's around 17 years. This is the 13-year cicada. They are very similar to the 17-year. The 17-year are quite a bit larger, I think, and these ones emerge every 13 or so years, give or take. Now, why I'm bringing this up and why it's a very important year for cicadas is this is the first time in 221 years that both broods will be emerging at the same time, both the 17 and the 13-year broods. Brood 13 of the 17-year cicada is scheduled to emerge at the exact same time as brood 19 of the 13-year cicada. So this has not happened since 1803. This was the last time that both the 17 and 13-year cicadas have emerged at the same time. And the two broods aren't scheduled to emerge again at the same time until 2245. 200 years in the future. So this will be the only time within current living history that people can actually see both the 17 and 13-year cicadas at the same time. Now, obviously, they do emerge separately in their different life cycles, but this is the first time in a very long time that they actually match up, which is very cool. Now, both broods are expected to start emerging mid-May, but depending on the location and environmental factors, they may start to come out as early as late April, or may take a little bit longer until late May to start coming out. They should continue to emerge for about a month until they all start to die off, and will be finished around mid to late June. Now, cicadas are the most common on the eastern coast of North America, and the kind of only areas they're really expected to overlap geographically are states like Illinois and Iowa. So while you may be in areas that one of the two broods may emerge, there's only a few specific places where they will actually overlap, and you will have both the 17 and 13-year cicadas at the same time in the same place. So annual cicadas do tend to emerge later in the year, around June to August, so there may be a slight overlap with 3 broods actually, but it's less likely because the annual ones do emerge later. But if you live in places that cicadas are common, you already know the drill. There's going to be a lot of bugs this year. So just a reminder, cicadas, while they may look a little bit freaky, they are harmless. They don't sting, they don't bite, they don't pinch or anything. Their feet are a little bit pointy, so it may prickle a little bit if they walk on you, but they are completely harmless. They're not even that bad for plants. The adults do tend to eat plants, but not to a level where they're really that detrimental. The worst outcome is that there's a lot of them, and that can be a little bit freaky, a little bit gross. But just let them do their thing. They're not going to be here for that long, and they cannot hurt you. So if you're interested in bugs and cool once-in-a-lifetime events, maybe keep an eye out, see if you live in an area close to where cicadas are, and if you're in an area where the two broods will overlap, because again, this will not happen until 200 years from now. So yes, big year for cicadas and bug nerds.